Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Persia, where we're taking on the whole world. One little city at a time. Now, we do have to go up against some of these very scary line infantry, but the fact of the matter is, we're in like a pretty damn good location for this domination game. We've got trebuchets pushing down the front. We've got a huge array of infantry pushing too. We've basically beaten Phoenicia. Scientifically, we're in a position where we could continue to expand, and we will just start to snowball to an insane degree if we stay on this pathway. I am going to start redirecting some of my forces to the north to begin the war with the Ottoman Empire, because that just seems like a prudent thing to do. We are about to have access to our own line infantry, so we will be able to start upgrading some of these man-at-arms. I will want to have the gold upgrade card plugged in, so I'll probably do that every few turns. I'll do like a round of upgrading rather than like continuously upgrading them. All right, let's step back with this immortal and then shoot this guy in the water. We'll bring this immortal forward. This line infantry needs to be dealt with because it's actually a big old threat to our... it's a big threat to our trebuchets. So let's start surrounding him and then getting damage in with our ranged units, like so. And the idea of surrounding him is we get that flanking combat bonus when we fight him. Now, one thing we're also going to want to do is potentially look into starting to build settlers. I think that would totally make sense with the position, the game position that we're in. It's a very simple calculus. We have a huge load of land to our west, and we have not built many settlers, so going to settle that would be pretty easily. Actually, I could get a jong here. Let's do it. All right, I got myself a jong, and what's great about this is it will provide me with a fairly strong naval unit to potentially start clearing and finding barb camps along the African coast. Another man-at-arms has been popped out of Tim Russell. Let's go ahead and get to work on that workshop. We want that production line to come up. We got the monument over here in Joseph, and we would like to build the city up to eventually be like somewhat capable of producing units. So getting the barracks, getting the armory, it'll be a very slow process, but it'll be useful eventually. We popped out another builder out of Fenrir, so we can begin the process of throwing down an absurd amount of farms in this lovely flat area over here, so we can start growing huge amounts of population. More Pyrodeses are going down as well. Dido is begging me for peace, but I refuse peace. This is not how I play. Line infantry has done some damage. That's okay. We always have the option of retreating. There's military science. We now have access to our own line infantry. So once we have the niter for that, that'll be something that we do. I really want to get access to this niter over here, so I'm going to start sending a builder in that direction. We are just about ready to get this niter online. There's going to be a bit of purchasing that happens. And I'm feeling fairly safe to push gently here. You actually have a promotion. So I like the idea of getting forward observers. So I'll take expert crew to get closer to forward observers. I'll step you onto this hill to pillage it. I'll move you up and we'll do a bit of damage to the walls. We'll shoot once with this trebuchet to break the walls, and we got to keep the man-at-arms flood moving down. Gotta be honest, I'm slightly disappointed that the immortals don't do full damage on their ranged attack to cities with Akkad, but I mean, it's still, I've managed to get serious value out of that. I think the next place we want to go to is for sure field cannons and cuirassiers. But there is a lot of like cheap techs up here. I definitely should get one-turn techs or something I should totally always just go for. But I do think ballistics is a good move. We have military science now, so we can get military academies, and we're not far from getting nationalism. We could also plug in liberalism. We would really like that those amenities. Those would be really great if we could get those. It's a ton of amenities, and our empire is struggling a little bit for amenities. So that's what I will do, and hopefully that will, if not fix my amenity problem, at least alleviate it a little bit. Nobody wants to sell me any luxuries. I've got Akkad well and truly under wraps. Yeah, I don't know if I need to get control of Hutu, so I think I would rather, play by ear, wait for another city-state to manifest. Let's bring the Jong up to help with these line infantry. And also, I think there might be another settlement somewhere here eventually. We are going to want to start thinking about how we get settlers over to this western side. That'll be part of our process. Looks like Dido actually has privateers, something we need to be careful about. We finally have access to celestial navigation, and it might be a good idea for us to pick up shipbuilding so we can actually embark people. Let's use the Jong to blast this guy. You're going to shoot there too. You, see, you take that pillage. You move here. You move up. You move up, break the city, so now the city can't shoot anymore. You take your expert crew promotion, you fall back to heal, you step back to shoot this guy. Repair the campus over in Mark, let's repair the library as well. Still finally just getting some of this infrastructure back online. Now, the city of Baruta is quite interesting. I think it would be... it would behoove us to get a unit, but he's standing on that galley thing. So let's go ahead and build those ancient walls. Well, that'll take a very long time. We could also go for the military academy and allow this city to just build a huge amount of units. It'll take 25 turns, but the city does currently have some negative stuff and needs to do a little bit of repairing. So we'll figure that out. Let's do some attacking here, I think. So we softened him up. Let's also make ourselves a line infantry. 400 gold, which is honestly very sustainable. We got our very first line infantry. These guys will really help punch through these enemy cities. I'm going to go ahead and detach Gustavus here and teleport him to Baruta because he's going to start giving extra movement to these line infantry. Okay, let's go ahead and found a city right here by the oasis. +3 era score because now we're the biggest empire in the world. We have ourselves a knight here protecting. I'm going to go ahead and scout and see if that Toa is still there. I definitely want to buy to this knighter, because the more niter I get, the faster I can upgrade my army. And not only that, but I think I will work the oasis first, because this city's greatest struggle is going to be with food. So that means granary first to allow the city to continue to grow. And it'll probably want its own trade route, which I am going to immediately buy. So the city will actually eventually be useful in some capacity. Let's pop a fishing boat right there. And we can go ahead and continue to expand this huge farmland that we're working on. There's a nice big old religious battle happening inside my empire, and we have managed to kill that line infantry, which is brilliant. All of our land units can now embark, and we can begin, well, I say begin, but we can finish the siege of this. I'm going to pull this man-at-arms back to heal. I'll move this line infantry forward. These two trebuchets are going to blast this city. We really want them to be bombards. Let's make sure we clear this. You're a little bit hurt. I'll take the tortoise. This is a city-state levy unit, so I don't care if I just slam it into an enemy city, because it just makes levying like future units from Akkad cheaper. See if I can get an immortal over here to clear this barb camp. And actually, the city of Baruta should totally work on settlers, not on encampments, because this part of my empire, I'm going to try to tell it to settle out over to here. Like there's 2 to 3 cities in this like land here. There's a city here. There's like 2 cities here. There's like a bunch of cities here in North Africa. So our goal is to try to make that work. It would be good to get cartography, +2 gold from fishing boats would be really nice. We have a few fishing boats in our empire that would really help out our gold flow. So that's the direction we're going to go. We got our theater square in Clockwork Ouroboros. I think getting the amphitheater would be awesome. However, this is another city that is totally viable for me to produce settlers in to send to the great colonization of North Africa, is what I am going to call it. Right, let's go ahead and pop down that niter right there. That's fantastic. Totally should belong... Oh, I can't change the tiles that are owned by the city, but this is in Byblos, but it should be in a different city. Eventually we'll be able to fix that. Yep, you make your way down here, and I would like to trade with a city with a lot of food. So 3 food from Edward Doran is awesome. That's really going to help the city to grow. There's the Toa we were looking for. We can go ahead and clear him out. We don't have to deal with any more barbarian nonsense. And I think I would like to upgrade this whole battalion of units that I have moving north into higher tier. At the very least, I would like to get the bombards up to make my life easier for killing Adana and stuff. So we'll have to wait a little bit for niter. We should be getting close to 6 niter per turn. Yeah, I lost the city-state man-at-arms, but again, I remember I was actually okay with that. That was all part of the plan, as the Joker would say. We did get a line infantry to spawn, so we're going to shoot that and step you back. You're going to cycle around. We want to definitely kill that trader. We definitely want to kill the city, so I think blast on the artillery to get them leveled up. Then we take it with the line infantry. The city is now mine. We will keep the city. Then we just need to grab Sidon. And I'm probably going to send a detachment, like a foreign legion, to go into the desert to clear it out of barbarians and establish, like, you know, order. So that the newly settled cities that I'm going to be making don't have to deal with a constant barrage of bullshit from the desert. So with this new city captured, I think we start off with repairs. Well, the obvious thing is to go watermill, granary, monument, and then eventually we'll get some builders down here. It'll take some time, but we will get those builders. My spy has finally established himself in Sidon, and I don't think we even need the listening post. So I'm actually going to go ahead and send him to the Ottoman city of Konya so he can prepare a spy network there. We'll kill the Toa that has plagued us in the desert. Awesome. Let's see if we can kill this pike and shot, and he's dead. We'll bring down the guys, would love to pillage that actually. Bring down the trebuchets with their guardians. Let's make sure we block all the tiles. There's a ton of line infantry down here. So that'll take a little bit of like manipulation and careful positioning of units to defeat. We got the Chancery in the capital, which is fantastic. Wouldn't mind getting the military academy. Could also grab myself a settler or something in here. Doesn't seem worth it. Could go for the military academy and be able to crap out units, because this would be what? The city would be getting 2 unit production plus 4 unit production plus 6 unit production. That's like 12 extra production towards units if I build this military academy, and corps and armies would be 25% cheaper, which would be insane. Taking a look at Karl Sorkvist, we will be popping down farms to build this city up a little. You need to repair that entertainment complex. I know I have one here, but I want one there. Let's keep injecting gold into this city to make it slightly better. So getting things like sheep online. We need to be careful about how much money we spend. It's very easy for us to go overboard on our cash flow. Okay, so these line infantry are a little bit hard to deal with, but that's fine. I have my own line infantry in the nearby area that can help out. And I also have a Zhang sort of doing the sieging from the side. Let's try to keep a nice solid defensive line. We'll move forward with our own line infantry. And we'll take the battle cry promotion on him so he can do a little bit more damage. And then otherwise we'll kind of fortify these lines and make sure that we have lots of units behind to give support bonuses. In the meantime, let's blast Sidon down slowly. Very, very slowly. This is the last city I think that they have, so it'll take us a little while to kill this, but we will get it. We have military academies are done. We also just got cartography. We could go for, I do think going for ballistics isn't a bad move. +1 food from plantations would be really nice. I'd also like to get industrialization. It's a lot of production here, plus access to the factory would be awesome for production empire-wide. We did just get the university in Porter, Washington. We cannot build our entertainment complexes yet. So in the city of Porter, Washington, we have like a few options and directions that we could maybe want to go. I do like the idea of getting a commercial hub. There's a +3 commercial hub right there, and it's adjacent to a couple of Pyrodizas, so that would be worth quite a bit of extra gold. Let's get those trade routes up. Gold is going to be really, really increasingly important as time goes on to be able to maintain my army's quality. So the city of Mark is like another one of these cities that can't really do anything useful because it's just like on the edge of a desert. So I am just going to go ahead and build some builders from it, just so I have that passive builder income constantly, you know, slowly but surely improving my empire. Let's drop the pasture here too. Now that's a 2-2 tile, which is a very workable tile for a city like Back 3. Let's get our first bombard upgrade. Then we want one more, and then we're ready to attack Adana. Honestly, we could probably start the war with the Ottomans now. The fact that we have a decent number of units, and the extra movement would be really nice. So I'll probably start the surprise war next turn. Right, let's go ahead and blast Sidon. 1 blast, 2 blasts. We've got the city under siege. Not in the mechanical sense, but like in the, you know, metaphorical sense that we're blasting down the walls. It does have medieval walls, so it'll take us a little while to break through. Plus it has a defender. We are fighting for our lives over here. There's a lot of barbs that we have to break our way through. So I'm going to send my line infantry into the fray. You're staying fortified here. You're well defended. You're staying fortified as well. You're pushing forward. Trying to, you know, carefully navigate this battle with the barbarians, because the crappy thing about barbarians is you don't really get anything for fighting them. We've managed to complete the commercial hub in Joachim Jaringbring. Let's go ahead and get to work on that market. Those trade routes are actually huge for me. They're empire-wide infrastructure. They massively improve my cities that I put them in. We managed to get the watermill in here. I think we could build the entertainment complex in this city and just get it started. So let's do it. We need to start getting those entertainments up. I'm going to yoink this cattle tile to help the city grow because it's struggling a little bit with growth, and I want to focus on food and production for a while in this city because it's been slow going. Okay, let's go ahead and declare a surprise war on the Ottomans. That's us set up now, and we can move immediately in with our heavy artillery. The extra movement doesn't trigger until next turn, but that's not important. So some really key things that we want to get from this war are pillaging, gold, and if we can get access to more niter, that would be awesome. But mostly we're just looking to continue to advance. Do we want to kill Hattusa or do we want to keep Hattusa? I think keeping Hattusa would be a totally reasonable thing for us to do. I think something that would be cool for city-states is if you could like militarily occupy them and like install regime, which like resets, you know, some amount of the envoys in it or something. You know, I think that'd be kind of a cool mechanic if we could make that work. All right, we need to get rid of this guy, so he's dead. Then we need to refill the ranks. You need to come here and shoot that crossbow. We need to get rid of anything that can do damage to us without taking damage is a big annoyance that we need to deal with. God, there's so many line infantry here. The AI just struggles to deal with this. So we managed to get the Gilded Vault here. That's 5 gold per turn, plus a little bit of culture. We're at 8 out of whatever population. We could go for the meeting house, which means we are following Eastern Orthodoxy here, which isn't a bad religion for this city. Technically, we can build a Great Zimbabwe, which is awesome. But I think a couple of builders are the play. And let's get the commercial hub in the city of Zach Glenny. We just want to make sure that we're making enough gold. I'd also love to find a trade city-state. That'd be amazing. We get a kill here. I'd love to clear this barb camp. Slowly making progress. Let's kill this crossbowman. Man, more line infantry are appearing. We are slowly pushing back the barbarian tide. Trying to think about which cities need help to get them to not be useless. Bactry has a trader. I definitely feel like the city of Mark could use a trader, or Joseph. But this city is never really going to be useful anyway, so there's not really much point putting much effort into it. Whereas a city like Zach Glenny, it has actually a decent amount of land, so I'll put a trader in there to be sent somewhere for nice production. Because I think the city could actually eventually be useful. All right, let's blast Adana, and we'll keep moving our units around. We stole a builder, which is fantastic, especially because Magnus is here. We can just chop out the entertainment complex and then get the arena going as well. Okay, so there is actually a Phoenician city up here to the north. I didn't think they were there, but we'll have to deal with this too. Let's move up and start blasting Adana. We may as well do a hit with this musketman because he's not actually technically my musketman. But Adana has almost fallen, the first opening turns of the war. And the Ottoman basically don't have a military, which, you know, I can't tell you how well that's going to work out for me. It's going to work out extremely well for me. Plus 1 era score for having the first civic for a new era. We did just get nationalism, so we can start to combine some of these units together if we would like them to be a little bit stronger. Like here's like a low promotion man-at-arms can totally be promoted and then combined with a high promotion man-at-arms, which I think is the way to do things. This is a city-state unit, so I don't mind throwing it into the fray to get killed. Nice, we got a kill in front of a great general. Can we break the city of Sidon? We can break its walls, which means it can no longer damage this trebuchet, so our worries are alleviated. Steal that builder right there. Perfect. There's also a pillage right here that we want to get our hands on. Let's take the bombardment bonus on the Persian Jong. Let's move Gustavus over here to help out with this line infantry. Can we maybe get the kill? Perfect. We're slowly clearing this. So with nationalism, our next obvious goal is to go for mobilization, but I do think it's worth it for me to stop off at natural history because there's a lot of amenities here locked up in the AoE amenities that come from things like zoos. And we are struggling a little bit with amenities. 19 of my cities are displeased or unhappy. Speaking of which, let's go for food and production focus, and we'll start building a spy in here. It'll take 13 turns, but we do need to keep the number of spies. Like, spies are going to be an important part of our game plan. We did manage to repair the arena in here, or rather the entertainment complex. We'll get the arena in Karl Sorkvist. Do I want to promote indoctrination? Getting +2 spy capacity would be awesome, actually. Even if I don't really have the ability to do that, the extra wildcard policy slot is huge, particularly if I wanted to plug in something like retainers and start like sorting out my amenities a little bit. Because I could just start faith buying really cheap units, like skirmishers. Like, do cost 2 gold to maintain. Here's the real question. The problem is, I think retainers goes obsolete at mass media. So if I were to do this now, it wouldn't benefit me very much. So I don't think it's worth it, sadly. But if it was earlier in the game, it might have been worth it. It's just the way the game worked out, it wasn't worth it. Let's trade with Edward Doran. That's worth 4 production. That'll help Jack Glenny out. And we'll just continue to build farms around there. Let's buy this tile. Boom, boom. Blast the city of Adana. Let's pillage this hill. Capture the city, ideally. Boom. We met Alexander, actually, believe it or not, through killing that, which is kind of cool. Then we're going to go ahead and upgrade this trebuchet to a bombard as well. I want to get you up into occupying this district. I'm going to take my Jong and move it to the north to attack the city because we would like to clear it. And so one thing we definitely want to do is maybe consider start combining some of our units together, particularly our low promoted units with our high promoted units. That's the ideal setup. I would like to generate less grievances, but I know they're probably going to vote for me to gain more grievances because I'm now public enemy number 1 in the world. Yeah, okay, so I get 100% more grievances, which is fine. That's something I can live with. All right, let's keep on blasting Sidon. The city is just about ready to fall. We've got a bit of a problem. I don't mind losing this unit. Why don't you fall back to heal? Got a major victory here. Let's attack and then attack. Cleared out another line infantry. You move up this way. Could settle Cyprus. Pillage for science. Frigates unlocked. +1 movement for embarked units. Do I care about keeping Hattusa? Hattusa's not a bad keep, honestly. There's definitely also a lot of pillaging I can do in it. So that'll be something we look into. Okay, the Janissary is a scary unit. So we want to play it safe. We got the industrial zone in Dawn's Elite. Let's go for the workshop to try and keep the production pumping up in there. I love how builders also get the +2 movement when you declare a surprise war. It's like their fervor for like construction just goes up because we've declared a surprise war. Just a beautiful game mechanic. You know, here's a low health man-at-arms that can be combined with a high health, low promotion man-at-arms. And that somehow really appeals to me. Let's harvest here to finish the arena. Arena completed. We definitely want more builders in here. Builders will come out of like certain places, but we may as well build it now. We're slowly dealing, well, I wouldn't say we're dealing with the amenity problem. We're slowly chipping away at the amenity problem. Here's another city that is just going to be dedicated to the construction of builders because I don't have very useful things that I can do at Utica. Every time I hear the name Utica, I think of that Simpsons steamed hams thing. All right, let's smash this city. We want to break it. Boom. We broke Sidon. That's basically the destruction of the Phoenician Empire now. Done. Retribution has been had. Okay, the field cannon is a little scary. Bring you back to a healing spot. Can you go clear this barb camp? Perfect. Okay, so no more barbs will appear here. Although, to be fair, the damage has kind of been done. An absolutely insane amount of barbs have already been spawned in this zone. We got the granary and factory. So that little bit of growth is going. Let's get the monument. We've got a decent amount of food in this city. There's a little bit of food coming from most of the tiles. So it shouldn't be too hard to keep that city going. Now, in terms of cards that I want to plug in, liberalism feels good because it's a lot of amenities. Amenities, nuts. I do like, there's a lot of stuff here that we could do. Triangular trade just feels like the best thing here. Yeah, let's go for triangular trade. It's a little bit of gold. It's a little bit of faith. Just helps keep my economy that little bit stronger. Let's move our bombards up. Begin blasting the city of Adern. Make sure that we bring this musketman forward. Adana needs a garrison to keep the loyalty strong. Let's keep stepping up. Our goal is to get pillages. Pillage here. Lovely. Hattusa is just a great pillage spot. In fact, a lot of the Ottoman Empire is going to be fantastic for us to pillage. And we haven't been getting that many pillages for a while. It's definitely felt like we've been a little bit lighter on the pillaging. So our spy is established in Konya. We're going to go ahead and start a listening post. This will give us an extra +3 combat strength against this player, which, while not being a massive amount of combat strength, it is a pretty big deal over the course of like hundreds of attacks, hundreds of battles, hundreds of fights, hundreds of unit attacks, you know? We're still getting multiple military emergencies triggered against us, and I am starting to expect people to start to vote them up. I would be shocked if this one does not go through. It looks like it did go through. Dido, Suleiman, and Theodora are in on this one. Now, Theodora is actually one of the few scary civs in the game, but her military is basically non-existent, so I'm not scared at all. We're currently one of the top science. We haven't met the person who is top science. Technologically, we're doing great at this point in the game. Alexander's gone insane. He's up to nearly 300 science per turn, but that's not a big deal because we have just such a huge, massive empire that we should be able to overpower him with the sheer amount of production that we can do. I really want to kill this crossbow. Right, nice. We took out that crossbow. This field cannon needs to go. This line infantry needs to go. But the field cannon is kind of more important to take out. So why don't you shoot there? Why don't you get the flank? It's a little scary, but we'll make it work. Retreat you to up here. I'm going to throw you into the fray because you're a city-state unit and your survival is not imperative. Move you forward, move you to here, shoot him, then you get that kill. Awesome. Clearing out barbs. Brilliant. Okay, the market is completed in Joachim Yarabring. Let's go for the Gilded Vault. That's awesome. +5 gold. The city of Tim Russo now finally has like a production line. Totally could use maybe some more builders in here. Definitely, this city just absolutely has to have its own entertainment complex to feed its own amenities because it's just such a huge, gargantuan city that to not have an entertainment complex here will just cause massive amenity problems because this city just absorbs so many amenities. It needs 7. So building the entertainment complex will help this. I'm going to put a trader into the city of Brant T48 to help this city just produce a little bit more efficiently. 1 blast and 2 blast. That should get us our promotions available. You're pillaging here. Pillage, pillage. I love to see the gold flowing in, the science flowing in, everything flowing in from these pillages. Okay, let's see if we can get you into the water to keep you alive. Still dealing with a lot of barb nonsense here. Let's retreat you to a safe distance. You're going to become a line infantry, I think. And then you're going to consume him so that we have a line infantry corps. You're going to fall back to heal. We're just going to take a moment to heal up on some of these guys. Is the basic play, I think. We got the campus repaired at Edward Doran. Let's go for... We may as well get our buildings repaired before we think about getting more settlers. One thing we definitely need to do is to start the production of more units. We're kind of too heavily going into infrastructure, and our like unit production line has collapsed. Keep punching the city of Adern. Pillage here, pillage here, pillage here. Pillage. All right, nice. We're looking great in terms of the pillaging. Hattusa was just basically a little, pinata worth of goods that we just popped open, sucked up all the delicious juice that fell out. Right, we're going to trade with King of Pylos to get 3 food, 5 production, a little bit of gold, a little bit of culture and faith. That's going to help out the Brant city. 1 pillage, you step forward, get ready to pillage and pillage here. So this is another like 800 gold stocking around here. Keep blasting these cities. I would like Aderna to fall, so we're going to take that. Boom. We'll keep this city. I think it would be good to drop our good friend Victor up here now to give us a little bit of AoE loyalty. Can you get this kill? I hope so. Perfect. The field cannon is a little scary, so let's pull back with units I'm worried about dying to that. Granary watermill to be produced in Ederne. Don't have any governor titles to spend, so we don't need to worry about that screen. Would be fine to get the, incense industry here. I'm kind of curious about resources. Like, do I have any like monopolies or anything like that? It's the monopoly guy. Actually, I have a lot of control of tea. I do have a monopoly on dyes, which is kind of exciting. My gold income has tanked, but I am pillaging for gold. But yeah, I'd love to settle across North Africa to get all these lovely, lovely, lovely cities that are sitting out here. Plus, there's actually a incense tile down here. That'd be great. Settle a city for that incense. I think that totally makes sense. It makes incense. Let's go here. Drop a farm. We'll drop a little farm right there. Very cool. I'm going to tell the city to focus on food and production, to let it to continue to verticalize. Okay, let's go ahead and build up scientific theory. That'll get us +1 food from our plantations. Then we'll actually, what we should really do is probably head towards refining, but I'm going to be building a coal power plant before I do that. And I'm trying to think the best place to probably do that would be in Kutaisi. So let's start on the factory now that we have industrialization. I could purchase a factory, but my gold income has kind of tanked. I could potentially sell off like a bunch of luxuries to Rome, but this is like the worst guy to sell stuff to. But at the end of the day, I do kind of need the money. He's not doing that amazing to where I feel insecure giving him a bunch of resources. But basically everyone on the map kind of hates me, which is like fair enough. I am a warmonger. We should totally be cranking out cheap like man-at-arms to combine together with units. So I'm going to start the production of man-at-arm cores, and the idea is these would require, basically, as long as I spend my niter fast enough, these will never get upgraded into line infantry cores, so it just won't be a problem. And we'll be able to build these man-at-arm cores that will eventually, at mobilization, be able to combine together with my other man-at-arms into man-at-arms armies, and then we'll be in a great spot. We're definitely not going to go for infantry anytime this game, but I think line infantry armies would have 82 combat strength, which is about on par with a tank. Now, honestly, actually having said that, the better thing to do right now is to start producing knight cores and to plug in a card to make that go even faster. So I tell you what, I'm going to take out retainers. I'm going to plug in the chivalry card. I think I might even take out Wars of Religion, although it's a pretty good combat strength boost, but conscription would be really nice. So we need to start beginning the transition to tanks. And so that transition is begun by pre-building knights that can be upgraded into tanks. Start building a few of those in the capital, and we'll get ourselves well on our way. We could also opt to go for steam power and get ourselves a couple of military engineers. I'm not totally against that. I don't think we actually found any coal. Let's have a look at the strategic. There's a little bit of coal over here. I don't see any coal over. Yeah, so we'll have to go conquer this to get coal. But I'm happy to get that coal, so to speak. All right, let's go ahead and get some flanking bonuses on this guy. Take him out, then attack this line infantry. Let's smash the hell out of this field cannon with everything we've got nearby. Then break him with our levied man-at-arms. I don't care about losing him. Mission accomplished, right? We kill the barb and it cost us a unit that we don't care about. So where do I want to settle this settler? I think right here is fine. You know what? Right there is fine. On this like freshwater, we can get a harbor. Well, if I settle off the freshwater, we could get a harbor commercial hub, gold booster city, and just have the city produce an awful lot of cash for me, which I think is a good goal for a late settled city, is just to be a gold production powerhouse. Plus, this actually totally works with the Gilded Vault plan. Right, I'm going to pull back my Jong because I stupidly ran a little bit too far forward there. We are getting these lovely turtles online as well. Slowly but surely, we will clear out all this bullshit. Shoot there, shoot there, shoot there, shoot there. Who are you, Boudica? Yeah, you're still helping out with a lot of these units. Let's go ahead and settle the city. We will immediately go for the harbor. It'll take a while, but I'm going to go ahead and buy a trader in this city to help it along. And we're going to go ahead and start producing settlers and factory. Ooh, I don't like this. Let's cancel. We need to deal with this barb camp. We also need to get this incense. So there might be a city settled on this coastline. In fact, I think if I settle a city right there, it captures 2 extra luxuries, which suits me quite well. Let's go ahead and faith buy a unit to deal with this. I think some cavalry might be the thing to do here. I need to upgrade another unit, and I want to primarily focus my unit upgrades up in this zone. So you're going to become a line infantry, good sir. You're going to go ahead and promote. You're stepping forward. Minor defeat. Why don't you also become a line infantry? Why don't you move to here, shoot him, and you go there, you go there. We got the encampment repaired in Byblos. Let's just go for settlers. That's what this sector of my empire is for expanding into the unknown. I do want to build my armories up, because armories actually do increase the rate at which you produce settlers, weirdly enough, because unit production means unit production. It doesn't mean military unit production. It's one of those little quirks of how the game works. Let's go for the commercial hub right here, especially if we're going to put Pyrrhodizes adjacent to it. That'll be a ton of cash. The one thing about a really big game like this is that each turn actually takes quite a while. But here's the thing, every turn that I invest my time and energy into optimizing will mean all future turns will have like a much bigger impact on the game. And you could probably see that unfolding as time goes on. Of course, there's a caravel over here. So we've got a pike and shot to deal with. Let's attack him gently, and then we'll faith purchase another cavalry. Why don't you fall back to here to heal? You're going to be trading with King of Pylos for 5 production. That's going to completely change the trajectory of this city. It's going to take 22 turns to build your harbor instead of the insane number of turns it was going to be. Let's bring up units to harass these barbs. And I think something I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving my trebs up to this line, because they're not very good at killing units. So I leave my infantry down here to try to deal with these huge barb swarms, and bring my trebs home, basically. We got the market here in Porter, Washington. Let's go for the Gilded Vault. Remember, that's a lot of cash and it's a lot of culture. I'm going to move Gustavus Adolphus over to this front line as well. I think I would prefer if he was helping out my bombards rather than anything else. I'm making sort of just gently begin breaking these districts. Let's take the shells promotion on these here bombards as they level up. We want to be able to destroy districts fast. We do need to get rid of this fortress, unfortunately. Let's attack with this cavalry, and then we'll combine them together into a core, which will make the future attack slightly simpler. Let's grab ourselves... Ooh, I don't have enough horses. Spending my horses. Let's keep making those settlers. I need a unit to escort my settlers forward, just to keep us from getting a little bit too easily dunked on. So I'm going to bring this man-at-arms as an escort for settlers to the west, because we've got things like this Sea Ghost clan, not Khan. He's not a Mongolian. I don't even know what the culture would be there. Ooh, elite guard, +2 attack per turn if movement allows. Okay, that's awesome on my ranged immortals. It's one of the powers of playing on slower game speeds is that you can actually do more stuff like to do with units leveling up, because your units tend to level up a little bit faster based on the time scale of the game. Like you might have level 5 units in the medieval era instead of like by the industrial era. I will continue to renew the spy mission, and I'm going to tell you what though, we have made extreme progress. We're building up a huge amount of infrastructure, and I think the play is to continue as we are and try to pump up a bigger army now. So we're kind of in the process of building knights to prepare for the transition to tanks. That's going to be a fairly long-term transition. Our army has shrank in terms of size compared to our empire, so it would be nice for us to start producing more units. We're kind of locked into the amount of army we can build based on the amount of niter that we have. We can't really make our army much bigger than what it is right now. So we are doing our best. But there are some things we can do, like advance slowly and maybe blast open some of these walls and do this sort of stuff. We'll see what we can do. We're working on it. But I tell you what, we've played about 20 turns. I'm going to call that the end of this episode, and it has been a fantastic episode cleaning up a whole bunch of things and managing to continue to extend the Persian Empire. We've begun the settling of North Africa. We've begun the conquest of Anatolia, although we are having a little bit of trouble because we just don't have enough units up here, because we're having to deal with this massive line infantry, barbarian, and caravel problem as well. Just a whole bunch of crap just happening. But yeah, I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!